We haven't seen you since the world tour of Canelo versus Crawford. I was out in Riyadh. We had the American press conference too. What do you make of the build-up so far? There's some pushing and shoving going on. The weight difference is a big factor as well.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And
today I get some rounds with the GOAT. One of the GOATs. You know what I mean? Two GOATs. Iron sharpened iron.
Terence Crawford has added Roy Jones as head trainer to his coaching staff in preparation for Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford hired Roy Jones because of his experience moving weight classes. Roy Jones is famously,
guys, even when I train right now, they come to my gym and I make them spend time, repetitious time like I did, on technique. They don't like it. They just want to beat bags, beat hand mitts, spar. Well, how can you do all this if you don't know the real technique that it takes to do it? So that's what's happening. We missing all that because soon you come to the gym, first thing you want to do is hit something. In our day, it wasn't like that. You knew what kind of fighter you were. You knew how to jab. You knew how to throw a right hand. You knew how to throw every punch. You knew how to counter every punch. You knew how to defend every punch. You knew boxing from here.
Regardless of Roy Jones' attendance, Crawford will have his boxing crew, Brian McIntyre and Benny Thaw, with him as he prepares for the night. It's Crawford's biggest fight yet, which is why he's putting in extra work in his training and preparation.
probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best.
Terence Crawford stated that he never had the chance to face generational greats such as Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Oscar de la Hoya, and the like. However, Canelo Alvarez was able to take on a number of them. As a result, a fight against Canelo is viewed as a confrontation with generational greats who he was unable to face. With Roy Jones Jr. on his side, Crawford is prepared to defy the chances by going up to weight classes and defeating Canelo to become the first man boxer to be the undisputed world champion in 3 weight classes. Like Terence Crawford, Roy Jones has changed across many weight classes.
Our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue, because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody.
Won a world championship in the 168-pound super middleweight class, where Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight. He also won titles in the middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight classes. Terence Crawford should learn from anyone who can successfully navigate these weight categories, as he will be making a 14-pound jump from super welterweight to super middleweight.
Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be a tough one. So right now, I think it can go either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that moved up in weight class. How do you think?
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have held 3 press talks ahead of their September 13th fight. The undisputed super middleweight title fight will be placed at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's probably the most anticipated fight in recent memory, pitting Canelo's power against Crawford's skills. That may not be the case, since Canelo is incredibly skilled, and Crawford has 31 knockouts in 41 professional contests. As a result, both fighters are capable of handling any situation. Crawford, on the other hand, is moving up to weight classes, so how he responds to Canelo's shots will be interesting to see.
I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is gonna always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm gonna take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what
Roy Jones Jr. thinks that Crawford's ability to take Canelo's shots will be the deciding factor in this fight, and that a hungry bout and Canelo will trade in order to give fans the biggest and best fight possible. In discussing the September 13th fight, he told Fight Hub TV, "I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving in the press conference. I don't pay attention to my weight. What I look for is the level of expertise that both guys showing and out of the ring." He added, "What I see is a hungry Crawford." Crawford, who has been looking for this chance for a long time, is finally getting it and is fully prepared to seize it.
If he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terrence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terrence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. All thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch. And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take.
In reference to Canelo, he stated, "With Canelo, I see a person who's not exactly hungry but likes to entertain, loves to give us the big fights, constantly wants to give us the big fights, and finds a way to give us the big fights. He may not always win, but he always makes an effort to do so for us. If he shows up and does the exact same thing in the ring, he can win the war." Roy Jones Jr. went on to say, "It will all rest on Terrence's ability to take a punch. When you're as skilled as Terrence Crawford, weight doesn't matter much. The only thing that counts in weight is your ability to take a blow."
Wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where he was saying...
Roy Jones Jr. thinks Terrence Crawford will prepare for Canelo Alvarez by practicing alongside super middleweights and light heavyweights. Crawford must have confidence in his ability to withstand Canelo's punch. Before training with Crawford, Jones Jr. spoke with Mill City Boxing about this potential fight. While admiring Crawford's ability and skills, the renowned boxer viewed Canelo as the favorite.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who?
I like Terrence, but given his height, I'm going toward Canelo early on. However, if he lets Terrence to enter the fight, Terrence will be a problem. If Terrence can handle the size, he will beat him. Jones Jr. cited Canelo's punching power as a key factor in the fight. That's what I am saying. We won't know until we see Terrence get hit since we've never seen him get hit with that power. Jones Jr. mentioned that is the deciding factor. You have a chance of defeating Bud if you can change his fighting strategy. But if you can't damage him, you can't change his fighting tactics, and that's a problem. This study emphasizes Crawford's necessity to counter Canelo's famed power.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What do you got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him, prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who?
Crawford may be able to pull off a historic upset if he can use his technical boxing skills to avoid Canelo's deadly punches. While fans continue to dream about a Canelo-Crawford battle, Canelo Alvarez is already training for his Next fight, the International Boxing Federation interim champion, William Skull, has been mentioned as a possible opponent. This was not always the case for Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr., a Hall of Fame boxer and current promoter, trainer, and respected commentator, had previously given scenarios in which he saw Terence Crawford and David Benavidez defeating Alvarez before changing his forecast.
Right now, I want to see Crawford come up some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand me?
That fight will go, Crawford and
Crawford won a pound-for-pound best fighter fight. I mean, it'll be tough. But right now, that's going to be a tough fight for both fighters. We got to see how Crawford carries the weight.
What about Jamal? Based on what you saw from Canelo, how did he match up?
Jamal matched up a little different because Jamal a little bit bigger.
He started with David Benavidez, saying it's a tough fight to call because he throws a lot of punches. Sometimes power can interfere and change the situation. Jones revealed in an interview with BoxingCENE.com, the problem is if Canelo is willing to accept the risk. I don't think he will right now since he doesn't see a reason to. If he can't hurt Benavidez in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I don't think he'll win the fight. Benavidez, a 2-time 168-pound title holder, has been hitting the table for a shot at Alvarez for the past 2 years.
Performance were you impressed by?
About the power he showed. You know, he fought the proper fight for the proper opponent. When you fight a guy coming up 2 weight classes, you're supposed to bully him. He fought Floyd Mayweather that way back in the day. We saw a much better fight. But he didn't. But he's learned now, and that shows you that he's improved and he understands boxing more now because he bullied the smaller guy, which is what you're supposed to do. What you say?
What about Crawford, boy?
Crawford still, I think he's a little big for Crawford. I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but
Crawford, who was once regarded as the world's finest welterweight, is ready to move up to weight classes to face the Mexican star. Alvarez, on the other hand, thinks that a victory over Crawford would have minimal impact on his legacy, despite the fact that many people believe Crawford has a good chance of winning. If anybody can pull it off, it's Crawford. You can't say no to him, Jones stated. I was the type of man who, if someone said they were better than me, would reply, if I can get close to your weight, here I come. When I won the heavyweight title in 2003, I offered John Ruiz 33 pounds and didn't care. I wanted to show that I was the best pound for pound and to accomplish something unprecedented. That's probably how Bud is feeling right now. He wants to achieve something historic to cement his reputation in boxing. Who doesn't want to see the pound for pound best of yesterday versus the pound for pound best of today? Who wouldn't want to watch that fight? It's a massive battle. How could you doubt him if he adds muscle and weight? One thing is certain, he will fight rather than simply take a paycheck. But will try to win the battle because that is how he is. If he carries the weight, it will be an interesting fight. He can box like Floyd Mayweather, and he can fight. He hits but does not get hit. If he can take the punch at that weight, he will most likely win the fight.
Bud, Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's gonna lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's gonna be tough. So right now, I think it's gonna be the way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that went up in weight class.
Jones, who changed in weight throughout the latter portion of his career as a 4-division champion, thinks Alvarez should continue his career at super middleweight. It's definitely best if Alvarez stays at 168. I didn't get why he jumped to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol, Jones stated. He had already defeated Sergey Kovalev, who was toward the end of his career. Bivol was in the middle of his. They're two different animals. He got the crush at just in time. Go back down and control your surroundings. Don't try to fight another one. Lightning won't strike twice. Terence Crawford couldn't care less if Canelo Alvarez or any of his rivals questioned his resume. During the final of 3 news conferences to promote their highly anticipated super middleweight fight, Alvarez questioned the greatness of even the finest competitors Crawford had faced. September 13th, at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Crawford responded, saying, Alvarez is the only great fighter he is concerned about beating. He also examined Alvarez's thinking when the undisputed 168-pound champion assured Crawford that he would learn what it's like when a good fighter climbs up in weight and finds his opponent is an excellent fighter. That shows you're a decent fighter. And Dmitry Bivol is an excellent fighter, correct? Crawford inquired before a crowd of Alvarez fans at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, "Right? Are you a good or excellent fighter? Let me know." Alvarez was adamant in his answer. "I am a great fighter." Crawford reacted by saying, "So you got your bum whapped by a good fighter, right?" Russia's Bivol defeated Alvarez comfortably as he went up to light heavyweight for the second meeting in May 2022. In November 2019, Mexico's Alvarez stopped Sergey Kovalev to win the WBO light heavyweight title in his 175-pound start in Las Vegas.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And you
I
know
fought
that.
everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2000,
Everybody.
2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna be
you.
me.
I don't
And
care
you-
about
He was unsuccessful in his battle with Bivol, who looked to deserve a larger victory, and the 115-113 score submitted by judges Tim Cheatham, Dave Moretti, and Steve Weisfeld at T-Mobile Arena. "Every time you stood up, you lost." A terrific boxer, Crawford observed. Alvarez's only losses were to Bivol, who went on to become the unbeaten light heavyweight champion by unanimous decision, and a majority decision to undefeated Floyd Mayweather in September 2013. To 4-weight world champion went 201 against Gennady Golovkin. However, the result of their first fight in September 2017, a split draw, has sparked heated discussion. Alvarez, boxing's top star in the United States, knows what it's like to prepare for fights of this scale. You've agreed to fight today, but in earlier years you claimed it didn't interest you because you had nothing to gain and everything to lose. What would it mean for the Canelo brand if he beat you? He is not going to beat me. Do not think about it. He is not going to beat me. Do not think about it. I think that this bout will go down in boxing history. For sure. That is for sure. For sure. Those belts are coming with me. They're coming home with me. I've been in his position before, and he promised a good fight. Believe me, this is going to be a great fight. I am going to try my best. I know he's a good fighter, but this is something different. You'll see what happens when a good fighter steps up against a great boxer. So, on September 13th, you'll find out if Crawford, 37, can become a world champion in a 5th division and an unprecedented, undisputed winner in a 3rd weight class. If the Omaha, Nebraska native pulls off a minor upset over Alvarez, who will be 35 next month. Crawford stated, "I don't care about anybody else."
You can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your
I'm
home.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
And
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
but look, it's
All
gonna
right.
be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm
I see
different
you.
than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing.
So, if I beat you, will you be a nobody? Will you be a nobody after I stomp a mud hole in you? You're going to be just like everyone else. Watch. Witness the same garbage that everyone else has been repeating since I went to 147. I haven't fought anyone. Every one of them stomps a mud hole in their heads, and he will be next. Watch. The number 3 fighter on the ring's pound-for-pound ranking meets Alvarez, who is ranked 8. Netflix will webcast their 12-round 168-pound title fight to a global audience of more than 300 million users. DraftKings rates Alvarez as the slight favorite to beat Crawford. Alvarez currently holds the 168-pound titles from the International Boxing Federation, the World Boxing Association, the World Boxing Council, and the World Boxing Organization. The boxing world is looking forward to the highly anticipated fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford later this year in the super middleweight class. Crawford, a dominant force at 140 pounds, has long wanted this bout. However, many analysts think that moving up to weight classes to face a naturally bigger and stronger opponent like Canelo presents a significant obstacle. Despite worries about the physical gap, boxing veteran Roy Jones Jr. sees this fight as a watershed moment in the sport. While acknowledging the risks, Crawford thinks the matchup has all the makings of an unpredictable battle. According to Jones Jr., a single mistake by Canelo could tip the balance in Crawford's favor. In an interview with FightHype.com, Jones Jr. stressed the fight's strategic importance. "It's a great bout for boxing. I know some people disagree with me, but if Canelo fights even one bad fight, he will lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it will be a difficult one. Right now, I believe it might go anyway, he added. Jones Jr. emphasized that Canelo's approach will be important to the fight if he underestimates Crawford or fails to adapt to his elusive style. The Mexican champion may face an unexpected loss.
Only thing when you got skill. Now, if you don't have a skill, you can't take it up because you're gonna lose your punch. You're gonna lose everything. But when you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you. You talk to the GOAT. I went out with a heavyweight.
No, it's a lot of the people, which is why I brought it up, would use the weight as an advantage for Canelo. But I agree, and you're right. Canelo fights obviously taller fighters all the time and wins. It's about skill as opposed to.
However, if he fights properly and uses his physical benefits, he has a good chance of winning. Jones Jr. recommends Terence Crawford to enter the bout at the highest weight allowed in the super middleweight class. And that's all for now. Subscribe to our YouTube page to stay up to date on the latest boxing news, moments, events, and actions. Don't forget to enable alerts so you can be notified when we post high-quality stuff like this.